Thank you all so much for having a little bit more patience with our setup. As I said, Valkyr is coming up on Dustforce DX, New Game Plus. He's going to be running it on PC with his own keyboard that he brought. We have to unplug our mechanical Ultimate keyboard to plug in his 50-year-old vintage Prime Wine keyboard. I will be delivering you to him right now.
Alright, cool. So, welcome everybody. This is Dustforce. Hopefully I'm not gonna do too badly. And yeah, I'm ready to start. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So, yeah, this is Dustforce. It is a momentum-based platformer, and you can do some really fun stuff in this. But first, a little backup about me is that I ran this game for, like, on and off for a long time. And recently I kind of got back into it and wanted to practice a bunch last week, but because of exams I didn't get nearly as much practice as I would have wanted, so hopefully the run is still going to go decently. So one thing you're going to see me do a lot is dashing. It's the faster way to start moving, because it'll put you at full walking speed except for Dustforce. He only gets up to about 80% speed, but the other characters do get up to full speed, if I'm not mistaken. And another thing dashing is good for is maintaining your momentum, because whenever you dash, your momentum gets locked. So if you go off a hill, then you get a lot of momentum, and then by dashing as often as possible, you get to keep a lot of that speed. There's about 12 frames in between each dash, so you don't really have to mash it, it's more so a case of good timing. And for every frame that you're not dashing, you're gonna lose a little bit of speed, so I'm gonna wanna do a ground boost every now and then to refresh my speed. And that's okay, didn't down dash there. Whenever you fall from a certain height, then you get some speed when you land, and you can do that to do what we call a ground boost. It's not a lot faster than just normal running, but it's still helpful. So right here we're gonna get a lot of speed by doing that jump. And because I'm bad at keeping my dash, I like to go for the second slope as well. And here, if you do it right, you can keep a lot of speed here, but my dash just lined up poorly and I also didn't keep a lot of speed, so yeah, that's bound to happen. So that was the tutorials. Now we're on to the forest levels. There's pretty much 5 areas in this game if you don't include the tutorials. It's forest, mansion, then city, and lab, and then at the end there's the difficult, which are like actually really difficult, but thankfully we don't have to get all the dust or anything. Just have to actually beat the levels. So that makes it a lot easier to do. And they also have some pretty neat skips. So for this level I used Dustforce, and that's because he has high jumps, so he can do some shortcuts, and he just climbs faster in general. He also has a big heavy attack, so you can kill those enemies to end the level right there. Okay. And that took my air dash. There we go. One thing, if you've played this game, you might be wondering, why am I not just using the books to enter all the levels? And that's just because that's the rules out for this category. You're meant to do the Nexus because it has interesting movement and it adds a lot to the run. So we decided to ban the use of the level tomes and instead make you use the Nexus. And I missed the bear, which is the worst one to miss, because he takes 3 hits. So there's also a lot of intentional shortcuts in this game, this being one of them. Just like a neat little drop down. Nothing too special, but it's nice that the devs put it there. The devs in general have been very supportive of the speedrunning community. They help keep the leaderboards clean, and they just... whenever there's a new glitch discovered, they don't immediately patch it unless like everybody in the community complains about it, like the finesse glitch that used to be around. So in general, they just work together with the community a lot, and it's really cool. So shout out to Hitbox team. So here I'm using Dust Kid. She has 2 air charges, which means she can either do 2 jumps in the air or 2 dashes. But she also jumps lower, so in the end it's about equal to a Dustman or Dust Girl jump heights. The difference between Dustman and Dust Girl is pretty minor. It's mostly about the attack sizes. Dust Girl has bigger heavy attacks, and Dustman has bigger light attacks, and on top of that, Dust Girl also starts falling a bit quicker. So generally she's used for levels where you start off in the air, such as tunnels, this level. But I like using her for most levels, and it also saves some time menuing, because Dustman is 1 further away. Come on. It's fine, there's the checkpoints. That right there is a spike jump, and that's something neat in this game, is that you can buffer a jump on a 45-degree slope. And what that allows you to do is you jump as soon as you land, and that allows you to just jump off the spikes before it checks if you're actually hitting spikes, which is pretty cool. Nope, not exit, main nexus. So I messed up that jump, so I go back to the main nexus to quickly reset my position to be back in front of that level, so I can get into my temple. Okay, shouldn't have jumped. So this is the first really difficult level, although it shouldn't be messing me up this much. In my defense, I was just playing on my laptop, which has a tiny delay on your inputs, so I'm used to doing things a little bit later. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Oh, that took my air charge. So about air charges, whenever you kill an enemy, you get your air charges back. So if you see me jumping a lot or just like dashing, that's because I'm killing enemies in between. So this is another good level for Dustforce, because there's a lot of like really big climbs and jumps, and in general it's just good to use because there's also a little shortcut at the end here, and it can make this a lot easier than other characters. So now we just use the super to kill the enemy through the wall and move on to summits. So that fox just decides to jump into the abyss, so you never really have to worry about it if you're going for SS ranks. But for this category, we don't really care about that. Normally you have to get SS ranks to unlock all the levels, but this is on a New Game Plus file, so we can just do any % routes on all the levels and it's all perfectly fine. I'm meant to go 2 over. Don't want to use Dust Kid for this level, you want those really high jumps from Dustforce. I also want to collect some dust along the way, because I would like to get a super at the end, because there's a bear at the top and he would take some time to kill without the super. So whenever it doesn't take too much time, I get some extra dust. Okay, I'm definitely good on dust now. Got a bit too much, if anything. So this level has some nice little shortcuts. It's inside of this corner, you just jump in and you're out of bounds, and then you can go right to the end. It's really convenient. So one thing about Dust Kid is that you can just spam her attack, there isn't much of a delay, which makes her really good for doing that. Come on. Need to get this slope boost to get enough heights to get up here. Not going too well. It should not be difficult at all. Okay, let's try again. Whatever, that works. And now we just have to get these ceiling boosts. And now we get 2 ruins. So here's another shortcut, so you can just fall through here, and that skips like half of the level. It's pretty cool. So right there you ideally want to get a ground boost, but I fell from too high up, so there's like a balance you have to get between falling from high enough so you get the speed boost when you land versus, you know, just, I guess, bonking against the ground. I'm just gonna wait for the camera to catch up here. Otherwise you're doing this part blind. Not the greatest thing to do. So here we have our first arena level, and this is basically like you're in one small room and you have to kill all these enemies. I'm gonna restart that because otherwise the strats don't line up. But right there I used the spine from the porcupine to instantly kill the bear. Saves a little bit of time. And the rest I just kind of improv at this point because I'm not consistent enough. So, that was Wild Den. Now we go back up to Overgrown Temple and 2 other levels, and then we're on our way to Mansion. This is another level where you really want to end with a super. So I'm gonna take a few hits because you can't actually die except by hitting spikes. So getting hit by enemies is a good way to build your combo. Okay, there we go. Wasn't sure if that would actually hit everybody. So this is a very boosty level if you get all the slopes, which I'm missing, so that's good. But yeah, right here, if you just like keep the 5 times per second dash rhythm, then you can keep a lot of speed going through this. And then at the end as well, kind of dropped it at the end, but it's not a big deal. So this one also has a neat little shortcut by going up here. And they even placed an apple. Sadly, you can't actually touch it, unlike a lot of the other apples that are hidden in this game. So I'm not sure if they expected you to get there, or they just decided to place that randomly. Either way, it's pretty nice to see apples hidden all around. So that was the forest. Now we're going on to Mansion, and here we're gonna see Dustforce quite a lot. There's just a lot of levels with either skips that he can do best. I'm totally messing this up. And yeah, just like a bunch of vertical levels. So generally, Dustforce is a good choice. Okay, didn't get my down dash in. There we go. What is happening? Dropping a lot of down dashes. So what I'm doing is ledge cancelling. When you climb over a ledge, there's like a little animation of your character popping up. And that wastes some time, so you down dash and then you dash again to get out of the landing animation. Yeah, I am meant to go to alcoves. So here's a bunch of loops. They don't work super well in this game. Thankfully, we don't have to bother with them in any percent. I went a bit too early. Normally you're meant to get a ground boost here. Yeah, we're going up. I still struggle with remembering the full routes every now and then. So here's a bunch of ceiling slides. If you time them well, you can keep a lot of speed through that. Sadly, I messed it up a bit. Whoa. Barely survived that. Now a little ground boost to get over the gap easier. And of course a bit faster. Oh boy. That's all good. You can actually finish that level earlier by using your super just before you land on the spike, so you don't have to go along the left side and then into the room. But I believe it's only like 2 frames window for that, and if you miss it, you just end up on the spikes. It's not great. Oh my god, I keep missing my dashes. Let's try it again. And that gargoyle will actually attack you, and that'll make you drop your combo. So in an SS run, you kind of want to avoid that if at all possible. Otherwise, you need to restart the entire level. So for getting SS, you need to both get all the dust, and you need to not die or lose your combo by either waiting too long or getting hit. So it's a lot more difficult if you want to do all the levels, because the levels get really difficult toward the end, and there are of course the difficulties at the end. So oops, I was meant to get up on here. So yeah, there's not many people who can run SS all levels, because mostly the final level, Yada difficult, is a massive pain. Just that, so I'll go for the backup. So for Yada SS, there's only, I think, just over 100 people who have an SS rank on it, which is, wow. Which is kind of crazy, considering how many people have actually played this game. So right there, I go up to the top, and then I jump back down so I can get this shortcut. I believe the way it works is that when you first spawn and you haven't hit any checkpoints yet, you die immediately when you hit the death plane, whereas if you already have a checkpoint, you'll kind of keep going for a while, so you can actually hit the checkpoint. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it does make sense. And here's some knights. They are kind of annoying, because they have the shields up and they'll block your attacks, and it's just awful. So here's another combat level. This one I don't have memorized, so I'm just gonna improv this. There we go. When in doubt, just use your super. Always works. So now we just go all the way up here. Then mess it up and have to do it again. There we go. So now we get to tower, another really short level because of a little skip you can do. You just go right to the end. And there we go. So now there's ghost parapets. So having just one tile to land on is not great. So this level is pretty nice with Dust Kit, and you also have the advantage of being able to get to Observatory a lot easier, because you have 2 air charges, so it's just easier to manage. Sadly, this level has no music, so if you were enjoying the soundtrack, then I'm sorry. I'm not sure why they just decided to make a level without music. And now just jump over this gap. I'm not sure if I would be able to get it all the way over there. Probably would have been able to, but I just want to play it safe. Come on. Get onto the wall. Fine. Okay, barely made that. That was kind of bad. So here's observatory. So you just jump down here. Really easy to get in here, otherwise kind of a pain. So this level has no checkpoints, so if you die at any points, yeah, too bad. Like that. I was meant to dash off the wall, and I think I tried to dash too early, so it ate my input. Like that. There we go. And now because we're Dustforce, you can just skip that side. My auto splitter just fucked up, so that's good. Anyway, cliffside caves. Guess I'll just skip the splits. Wasn't meant to do this at work, by the way. Just got distracted and forgot to switch my character, so this is gonna be kinda slow. Worf isn't the greatest for boost heavy levels, and there's just a lot of going to the side here, not as much going up. I was hoping to land on that slope, but it's only like a small walk, so it's not a big issue. On the plus side, using Worf, you can just use your super there to get up, no problem. So I guess it's not really much slower. It's just that I'm not used to it at all. So yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about at this point, so if any of you have questions, just let me know. I can't see the chat myself, but I think someone else. Alright, good. Okay, so here's another level with a little shortcut. You can just take the top path instead of the bottom. It's not a lot faster, but it's still something. Whoa, okay. Got stuck to the wrong wall there. This part is really weird to navigate because of all the terrain just being uneven and then just having random gaps. Alright. We are almost done with the mansion. Meant to use Worf here, not sure why I switched. But I guess we're gonna rock the girl then. The main difference between girl or man and Worf here is just these parts. This is gonna be slower. Also, books are dicks. Just wanted to let you all know. Don't read, it's bad for you. Right? I mean, should have just been like a bunch of computer screens attacking you. I think that would be a lot more with the times. Yeah, it makes sense. So I got a nice little boost there. That's a nice thing about these levels, they just designed it around all these slopes, even before the slope boosting was a proper thing. Okay, still made it. Split again. Not sure why the auto splitter sometimes just doesn't want to work for me, but yeah, I have my splits open just to make sure I remember the routes and everything. There we go. So Park is another really boost heavy level, so I'm gonna switch back to Girl. So yeah, this was really designed around the slow boosting. Just the way it launches you up and then you have the perfect opportunity to boost all through there. It's pretty nice. Okay, landfill. There's a skip here where you can go out of bounds, jump right to the end, but it's kind of difficult, so I'm just gonna do a different out of bounds. This one's a lot more easy, and the other one you would go along the bottom and use Kit to make sure you get enough distance to go all the way over here, and then you finish the level right there. So that's a short level. Here's an even shorter level if I don't fuck it up. Oh, I used Kid. Alright. I guess that's an option. Meant to use Girl. And then abandoned car park at the bottom here. So the next is what's kind of made in a way that if you can't reach a level, you're probably not ready to actually play it. So a few levels are in pretty tricky locations, as you'll find out after apartments. That's warehouse. Whoops. I don't think Girl can make that jump. I'm gonna have to go back. Come on. In there. With Warp, there's like a really nice little setup you can do, but because I couldn't reach over there, kinda stuck with doing this. So yeah, now we go to apartments. My bad. So here we can do a nice little boost to get right to the end. There we go. So now we get up here. So this is kind of where like you start having to really work to get to a level. It's not too bad, but like that jump can be a bit tricky if you don't know how to do it properly. Whoops, okay. That's not how you're meant to do that. I'm meant to jump a bit later so I don't get stuck in a slope. But apparently that's not gonna work, so we'll go up on top. And just curve around like that. Just barely not enough height, so... But yeah, that's the end of the level. So just a super to finish it off, and then moving on. Oops. This is really sloppy. So the end of this level is always scary because it drops you like right into the pit if you try to skip the slopes. So here's a little zip they made in the overworld. It's pretty neat. So this is not the original version of the game. This is the DX update. And what that did is that it added a bunch of levels, also with lag. And with that, a new nexus, which is the overworld. So by that point, people had already discovered like a bunch of different things, like the zips. So I guess they just decided to implement them, just for convenient travel for those who find them. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Just want to play this safe. Way safer than it needs to be. Alright. So yeah, this is rooftops and you just kind of like go along the top usually, because you're Warp, you don't care. Just go high. And then at the end there's a few enemies. Something I'm using is heavy cancelling. I'm dashing to cancel the cooldown from the heavies. Otherwise you have to wait like a second or so for the animation to play out. And this is Clock Tower. This is another pretty big spike in difficulty compared to most other levels. It's short, but it has no checkpoints and spikes everywhere, as you can see, so I'm just gonna play it safe. Almost hit the spikes at the top there, that would have been bad. And I dashed too early, so there we go. That's how you mess up, and that's why it sucks that there's no checkpoints. There we go. That was really bad, but it happens. My first time trying to clear, or trying to assess Clock Tower took like 2 hours, I think. It was really bad. Fine, I'll take it slow. So here's a nice little setup for a spiked wall climb, if I can stop jumping to the right. There we go. So there's just a couple of pixels where your hitbox doesn't actually hit the spikes, so you can do that. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of like spike-related tricks in this game. There's also dwarfing, where you can stand on the very edge of a spike platform and not get hit by the spikes, which I'm not going to try to do at any point, but it might happen anyway. Especially when we get to Terra difficult. Damn. But there is another spike stand you can do. This one you have a lot more pixels to work with, but it is on a slope, so you need to be careful not to slide into the spikes anyway. There we go. Not actually too difficult, but it can be a bit finicky. Okay, so right here you need to get a good slope boost to get up high enough. And now we get to another arena level, which everybody loves so much. There we go. So now we get to Hideout, which some consider the most difficult, non-difficult level. If that makes any sense, just a difficult level that's not in the difficult tab. So usually not too difficult if you just run any percent. Just need to not slip off these one block platforms. Not sure. Yeah, basically don't do anything I do in this run, and you'll be good. It's eating my dash at the start there. It's kind of infuriating. There we go. So now... Wait, that's not the checkpoints. Well, I'll do this the normal way, if I can. There we go. I'm not normally this bad at the game, I swear. Except I am. Thanks. Apparently I'm really gonna need it, because this is going awfully. So here's another setup for spiked wall climb. So just use some spike jumps there to get past that a bit quicker and safer. And now these guys are gonna be massive dicks, as they tend to be. And yeah, with that we are done with City, so that took a lot longer than it should have, but hey. It's Hideouts, what are you gonna do? Yeah, computers encased in slime blobs. Okay, didn't actually mean to do that. You can kill the enemy through the wall. Pretty nice. So yeah, there's these vats, and they can be pretty annoying as well. And then a nice boost to the end. Whoa, okay. Didn't actually want to land on that slope, but hey. So yeah, this is one of the levels where it's like there's dust everywhere. You're just skipping all of it. Like they want you to do all these fancy loops and stuff, and yeah, I'm not gonna do any of that. Well, I mean, we just call everything dust because it's Dustforce, but yeah, it's not actually not actual dust. Like leaves are dust, slime is dust.
And is this really a server? Let's find it.
It could be someone's server room. You never know.
I would
So then-
have an X server room at that point.
Yeah. So here's another really boosty level, so... yeah, that's something entirely different. Okay, so I messed up my ground boost right at the start. That's kind of a shame. So here we just like dash when we get to the top of the wall, because it will just barely clip you up. It's pretty nice. Down we go. Got really confused for a moment. Meme forest, yeah, that's about right. I'm sure we have a bunch of the pro Dustforce players in chats memeing it up. That's exactly why I love this community. Like whenever anyone's streaming Dustforce, they'll check it out and help out if they can, and meme while they're at it. Yeah, not my first time doing Dustforce. I am well aware. So yeah, here's satellite debris, something that looks entirely different from every other lab level. And I really like it. It's like this glassy blocks, and it's like up in space, pretty much. So another level up here where we just take the top route, because they made the game pretty cleverly, just having a few alternate paths. And of course, because you're climbing, does work, it's faster in the ascent, and for the rest it doesn't really matter. Thank you. You can actually clear that with 3 heavies, but you know, need to get the good setup. So this is backup shift. I hate backup shift, and I hate even getting into it backup shift. There we go. Once you get the first one, it tends to not be as bad because the second platform is lower. There we go. And it ate my dash at the start. Good. I really don't like this level. It's the last one I assessed, and I still am not a fan. Although there is one really cool thing you can do in it, and hopefully I'll actually get to do it without dying. This. You just do a bunch of spike jumps to get past this rather than bothering to kill all the slimes. a bit too late on the heavy. It really is. It really is. Like, I'm so bad at just getting to it. And getting back is a lot easier just because you don't have to deal with the higher platform. So here's containment. Not a fan. So I'm just gonna damage boost to charge up my super. And then hopefully kill everything. Although that didn't go as well as I would have hoped. I think that's gonna miss something. No, got everything. Good. So speaking of damage boosting, gonna do it again here. I don't really mind Abyss. Call me crazy, but I don't think it's too bad. Oh my god. A bit too early on the down dash. That happens sometimes, and I just like hopelessly slide down the wall again. Aw, missed the left one. It's like a really nice combo you can do there. Barely missed it. So this is another one of the levels where, like, if you can't get to the level, then you're probably not ready for it, so clearly I'm not ready for it. So, Core Temple, which is my favorite temple. It looks pretty cool. I'm not very good at it, but it looks cool. That was kind of shaky, but we made it. And then right there, just a spike jump for fun. This is indeed Scrub Force. I said at the start of the run, but I'll say it again. I was meant to practice last week, but because of exams, I didn't get nearly as much practice as I would have hoped, so... I can do some custom maps at the end, so... I think we're still ahead of schedule. Alright, back to Abyss. It doesn't matter if I don't get up here, I just need to hit that one point and then it'll respawn me up here. No, that doesn't count. That's not a custom level. I'm sorry. Not gonna happen. So that's Abyss, you just drop down, and then that's that. Alright, Dome, that's gonna be the final normal level, and then we get to the difficult, where I'm gonna get utterly destroyed, so that's gonna be fun. Oh my god. Dude. I am totally down with that. Dude, you get to see so many dicks in maps then. It's like all sorts of different ones. Like virtual ones, normal ones, slimy ones, you know, all this stuff. Alright, down to main Nexus and into the virtual Nexus. That's not how you do that. Yeah, it would be nice if I could actually see chat, but oh well. I can do Doge Force, sure. Up there. So here's the first difficult, Kilo. So neat little shortcut here, just jump past all of that. I'm gonna take it safe here because I'm bad. And you can just skip along the right side because Dustforce is too good. go. So now we have Terror difficult, so I'm gonna do a 3-pixel trick. Hopefully not gonna take too long to get it. So I do if I don't get the proper setup. Oh, okay, so there's a Jorf. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I need to get better at cancelling my momentum. That should be good. Yeah. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. I always do that. I don't know why. I'm just really glad the checkpoint caught me. Holy shit. Okay, apparently I'm using man for this. That's fine. So that's Exa. Really difficult. Now Mega. Mostly gonna be the same deal. So Giga we can't cheese as much. Although you can still do pretty big shortcuts right at the start. Dash it a bit too late. Oh boy, well at least I got this checkpoint. One interesting thing, when you're using Dust Kit, even though you have 2 air charges, when you respawn you only have 1. And that kind of messes me up sometimes. Almost. You can barely get in between there. It's actually not too difficult. Oh, okay. And you can just skip that part. Not yet. Also, you can get in between there if you're any decent at the game. Like a few pixels to get in between. There we go. Actually, I need to jump somewhat decent. I'll take that. But yeah, we just jump over the Giga walls because fuck them. So now for some really calming music for a not so calming level. That's too early. I'm meant to jump into the other spikes. Right there. And now we get to do this little blind part. I'm just gonna... Nope. Nope. I was gonna say play it safe, but nope. I was sliding along the ceiling. Okay, I'm gonna call BS on that. Game is wrong. That's what's meant to happen. That took longer than it should have. Alright, so here we have Zeta. Hopefully this isn't gonna take too long. It's not too difficult on its own, but there's a few things that are just hard to get consistent, I guess. Okay. Need to get a good boost at the start here. And then you go too high up. I mean, I could have saved that, but you know. Bad and all. You need to get that jump, and because of that I want to be as close as possible. Also I forgot to Mapler there, so I'm gonna have to try and recover that. Didn't work. The start of Zeta is like the most difficult part. And there we go. So down dash, where are you at? And this is the second most difficult part, except I'm not even at the difficult part yet. Not getting proper slides. There we go. So I'm gonna do a weird little setup here, make sure I hit that slope with enough speed to make it all the way over there. And then we can just jump straight over this part with the help of this prism. And jump over this. So spike jumps are very helpful in the difficulties. Yep, that's the end of the level. Alright, so on to Yada. So I'm gonna start off here with a jump from a spike wall. Oh, I barely missed it. And I'm gonna want to hit a checkpoint there. And what I'm doing here is a dash jump. Is you hit dash and jump on the same frame. So even though you have only one air charge, you can do both at the same time. Okay, that should be it. So a neat little death warp there to skip the most annoying part, in my opinion. Yeah, you can just kind of skip along the top of this. It's no big deal. Oh, I missed the slope. That's so bad. The walk of shame. So here I'm gonna do another Terra drop. So 3 pixels. Gonna take a few attempts to get it, probably. That's too far to the right. That should be it. There we go. Landed a bit too high up. This is pretty precise. And then you just heavy that, and then you get into a little secret, which I might as well just stop for. This guy. And he'll take you to the next checkpoint, so it's pretty nice. So usually the Easter eggs in Dustforce are apples, but this is something different. And that's just a blind drop. I have a setup for it. It works decently. It's not amazing, but it works. There we go. That part... Oh my god, I let go of A too early. I'm bad. I have this really bad habit of when I'm spike jumping, I just like don't hold A or hold jump for long enough. I think I also jumped over the music trigger, which is a shame because it's a nice end to the run. Which, by the way, time is coming up, assuming I don't die anymore. So we just jump past all of this, and then you are a true master and time. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, that's like 15 minutes behind world record. It's kind of ridiculous.
We have some time, so feel free to show off some custom levels.
Okay, yeah.
Mods. It's,
Yeah, I'll do Dustforce first.
20 minutes ahead, so go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I'm gonna have to download that. But yeah. Yeah.
It will be a surprise.
And stuck below something. Oh, not the face, not the face.
Yes, the face.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I'm really gonna have to do that.
Stop with the minch. Shit, how ridiculous it is.
Fine, because you hate me so much. Oh god, I'm using War of No. No, no.
While you're downloading maps, just play the replay.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so let's go Dust Scroll. There we go. I'm just gonna show off the start and then... Yeah, it's pure evil, and they say they're sorry, but they're really not, I'm pretty sure. So... Get hit by the bear, and get bodied, so yeah. This level is just pure evil, don't play it, ever. Yeah. So yeah, I have not practiced this level much, so this is not gonna go well, so just gonna do one more attempt, and then... Yeah, fuck it. Just gonna rely on the porcupine. Yeah, he's not very consistent. Yeah. Should be fine. Got caps lock on, apparently. Yeah. So here is an amazing map, totally not a meme. So yeah, this game has a level editor, in case you didn't know yet. It's really cool. You can share all your levels online via the Atlas. And yeah, you can make stuff like this if you want to. Yeah. Alright. I'm not sure if I've played that or one of the variants of it. So speed. It's so bad, dude. The memes. Whoa. Didn't actually think that was spikeless, but hey. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I should probably close my splits, because it's gonna keep auto-splitting. There we go. No, I didn't. Those splits are not my PB. It was 1 minute behind PB, even though I should be able to beat it pretty easily.
All these dogs in chat.
Of course. Which one was it?
I don't know, rock or more rock. Rock is more rock, or riot. Wow, such a level.
Jesper is gonna have all these amazing maps on his PC. So yeah, this is a map. A lot of rocks. A lot of rocks. And now we wait. And didn't kill them all.